Hello everybody and welcome back. I literally just finished up the last vlog that went up and I have already gotten a lot done since then. I really didn't mean to do this much without documenting it, but it just kind of happened. So I'm not really planning on doing anything else right now, but I just want to get you caught back up so that I don't forget anything. So first of all, I'm coming back here to show you that everything that I have up for Unistrut right now has been filled in. I do think I have supplies now to get those last two pieces that I have installed, so that may be coming up soon, but for right now I've worked really hard on trying to infill everything that I had open first. It's maybe not all fully organized quite as much as I would like it to be, but right now I really just need to get things off the floor. Eventually I may be able to go back and make some more sense of what I have happening, but at this point I'm just getting too low on space to be overly picky. I have got to get these motors off of the floor or I'm never going to be able to do anything with my space out on the other side. So really it's actually only taken me this long to fill in this space because there was so much stuff underneath it. It was solid box fans right here, which I really need to pare down on their own, but in order to create that space to work back there, I did move a bunch of them out here. I am getting really tired of shuffling piles of box fans around, but this one had to happen in order to make progress in the back. I can just show you that this pile is really starting to dwindle. Some of them have just moved over to the table for now because as of right now I have not filmed my National Ceiling Fan Day video and I did need to make some walking room over here. By the time this video goes up it's going to be well after National Ceiling Fan Day, I'm sure. But I did go around and kind of do a rough count, and as far as I can tell I am under 100 fans left that have to go up. That's kind of excluding huggers because I think I'm just going to have a shelf for those. They're a little bit too much work to put up on the strut, and that's also excluding a few common things that I don't really want or need that I'm probably just going to donate. So while we're out here I'm going to show you something else, but I'm going to put some lights on. So as I mentioned a video or two ago, I did this shelf up as a bit of a display. There's nothing too cohesive here. I really wanted to get some of my last antiques off of the floor, and then I also just went through and picked some of my better conditioned plastic models out of the back. What really drove this forward though is that I needed to make more room on the shelving in the back, which I'll show you in a minute, but a lot of these smaller fans were occupying the space that I cleared out, so I'll go ahead and break this situation down. I've needed to make a new glass shelf for a long time. This shelf here was previously occupied by mostly in-box blades. I wanted to try to keep glass in one place, so those blades had to go elsewhere. So back to the blades, that's where moving all of the small fans came into play. Those small fans out on the shelf, as well as these in front, along with a few others, were previously occupying this space. I already had a bunch of in-box blades stored here, so I figured this made a lot of sense. We don't really have ceiling fan storage going on here, but it's hard to fit things into these narrower shelves as far as portable fans go, so it's kind of wasted space anyways. Before there was kind of a lot of stuff mixed together, so this allowed me to reorganize and get things a little bit more in order. I also decided to go through and label things so that I hopefully can keep them in order going forward. I don't know if it showed in frame before, but I do still have one remaining in-box blade shelf down here. I'm trying to decide if it matters to have them all together or not, but I'm thinking I could maybe swap out this in-box portable fan section with that blade section. Not sure if I'll do that. I haven't even checked if the shelving setup itself will work with that, but it may be an option. So I believe that now gets you back up to where I am at. There are kind of a lot of projects breaking open now that I could get into, so I really have no concept of where I will be next, but I will see you back soon for more. I did just remember on my way out, you may have seen it earlier when I came over here, I did get these remote controls moved around. This is why I can't do so much or go a long time without giving you guys an update because I completely forget what I've done. I believe this actually wraps it up for now, and I will see you back soon. Hey you guys, I'm checking in again. I'm not even sure when the last time I checked in was. It has been a while. I have been universally very busy across the board. I'm really trying to get my stuff for manufacturers done and out of the way. I have had some time to work on a number of assorted things. I just have been feeling a little bit burned out with everything else that I'm doing, so I haven't been vlogging it. I did just want to pop in now though and do kind of a quick little update. I have been kind of all over the place in what I've been doing, so I may not get everything in here, but I'm gonna try. So for starters, you can see that my pieces of Unistrut are no longer on the ground, and that is because they are finally up on the ceiling. The first row I got up has already been filled in, and I'm not sure if I even updated when the row before that got finished off. And now you can see that I'm getting into this row. I was originally going to start on this end and continue until I got too close to this fan that I'd have to quit, but it actually ended up that when I took the pedal down off of the display, it actually fits to the very end of this piece without hitting the fan, so that's great utilization of my space. So now from there I've been working back, and the Panama on the end might have to readjust when I get back down to it. So next on that front, I'm going to need some more pieces that I can cut to custom sizes to fill in the rest of this portion, and then I think it will end up that I'll be running 2 more full pieces right down this row of installed fans. There'll be room for some decent storage in between them, which I definitely still need, but beyond that, that's going to be pretty much all of the ceiling storage that I'm going to do, and I'm going to try to cut it off there. So if we come out here and look at what's left, I have condensed down again as I've been installing in back. So what I took off of this table has pretty much filled in again. I have just a few over here still, and then this section over here is finally getting down to the end. You can see I've done some fill-in with some pedestal fans. It's a constant process of shuffling things around to make room where I need it. So a lot of those pedestal fans have just been sitting around like this back here, and it's just been in my way, so now that I had some room going out there, I was able to move them out. In this corner, I have some new part storage stuff going on. My dad had been working on getting this taller filing cabinet empty and combined with some of his other stuff. I'm not sure if it's really shown up elsewhere in any videos, but you can kind of see there's a filing cabinet behind those pipes. If it did show up before, I haven't mentioned it because it's more of my parents' stuff, not so much mine. So anyways, once he got this empty, we were thinking we'd probably just donate this filing cabinet because we didn't really have a use for it. But then I decided that I did indeed have a use for it. Before, I just had these 2 little cabinets for mostly blade arm storage, but also some spare switch housings and switch caps. They've been completely overflowing since I moved into this space, so I really needed to do something about it. So now in this cabinet, I have my spare blade arms that aren't in as great of condition. I don't feel too bad about them getting all tossed together and potentially a little bit scratched up because they're already pretty scratched up. So this one still has a little bit of room for expansion, and the drawer above it is still empty as well. The 2 down below are pretty much already full. So then in this one, I was basically able to separate out spare switch housings on their own. And then this one still needs work, but it's kind of switch caps and spare light kit parts, all that kind of stuff. I need to reorganize and figure out what I'm going to do here, but step 1 was getting the switch housings separated. And then in this one, I have blade arms that are in a little bit nicer condition and that I don't want to get all scratched up being jumbled together. I do still have a little bit of extra room in the bottom of this one as well. And then this one is on wheels in case I need to get into this shelf next to it. I can just pull that out really easily, and there's plenty of room to get to anything I'd need in here. So that's kind of the bigger stuff that's been happening, but that stuff aside, I've just kind of been decluttering and getting things cleared out a little bit. Tonight I'm probably going to get into this stuff some more. I did get new label tape a little while back, so I'm ready to go on that again. Over here, I've been decluttering these shelves to some extent. With my expanded spare blade arm storage, I was able to get some of these blade sets broken down. There were a bunch of sets on here that I'd either picked up as spares or were from parted out fans from cleanup week and stuff like that. They've literally been sitting assembled on this shelf since I moved into this space. It's just that kind of stuff that I can't get to until I have the proper storage to accommodate it. With the bigger stuff like the ceiling storage nearing an end, I can start focusing on some of these little nitpicky things. I just have so much clutter that needs to find a space and be dealt with. So I think that mostly covers what's been happening around here. If I make any significant progress on my part shelf down here, I will update you before I leave. Otherwise, I will see you back soon for more. I am back, just checking in quick before I leave. I made really good progress here and I'm pretty much done for the time being. I do have more stuff just generally laying around that can be organized out now that I have this setup going. I have just a few spare containers left in case anything new comes up, but right now I'm really happy to have this set up and usable so that I can quit throwing spare components in boxes and things that I have to reorganize later. It can all just go directly into its assigned location from here on out. So once again, this is it for tonight and I will see you back soon. Hello everybody, this is going to be kind of another check-in. There's kind of a lot happening right now. There are a bunch of projects that I want to get into. This week I have been working on another video review project, so I've kind of been all over the place. Certain things have been progressing, so that's just what I want to get you caught up on, and then hopefully I can get into some of the projects with you as I go. So I'm going to start off with storage. You can see this last row that I was working on is now complete. I did also get a couple more pieces of strut so that I could cut my custom lengths for these sections. You can see on this end, these ones are completely filled in already. Beyond that, I'm kind of at a standstill on this for the moment. I do need to get some more mounting equipment. I'm also waiting on manufacturing for some hang true mounting equipment with my dad. I'm at quite a shortage of hang true crossbars, so I need to get some of those made. I have looked at the possibility of just buying them on eBay, but it's actually cheaper to have them made at this point. You may also notice that I've moved some things around. For example, this Proline motor has never been hung up back here before. I did just move a few things around because it made sense for the sake of space. Again, this spinner was moved over here from where it was here because the Hunter fit better in this spot. So then if we come out here to look at the progress, this fan, for example, was hung up in the back before and I didn't have a new place for it yet. So for now it's sitting out here. I will say for the sake of space efficiency, my layout in the back is getting sacrificed just a bit. In earlier videos, I did mention that I sort of wanted similar fans in similar locations. For example, these Cambridges worked out really great. But then another example I remember mentioning in the past was the wind. I said that I wanted to put them all together in a row, but that is not going to happen because the blade arms just take up way too much space between them. It's not a good use of space. Alternating with fans that had blade arms higher up was a much smarter way to go. I'm getting down to a point where it very much is a puzzle trying to fit as much in as possible. So really the bulk of what's left is here. I do still have a few on the floor over here, and then this is the last of what's over here. And if I show you this table that is empty other than the little Northwind here and the Homestead blade arms, of course, this leads into the next part. So clearly the Northwind has come down and in its place an original has gone up. I've been looking at this location knowing that I could fit a larger fan into it. With another National Ceiling Fan Day out of the way, I have kind of a renewed excitement to get back into the display and do some refreshing. I'm also wanting to do some more expansion, so the Northwind will likely be going back up. I don't have a timeline or exact location going on that, so I'm not even going to get into that yet. But for now, I'm excited about this change. This fan does fill out the space a little bit more. I was going to mention that I did just do a brown switch cap on the bottom. I don't have an antique brass one for this, but it does at least go with the finish scheme, and honestly, you can't even tell unless you get right up underneath it. So with this one being tucked against a wall, it really doesn't even matter. But moving on from that, the reason I chose an original for that location is because the originals over here are coming down. The brown and brass will be coming down at some point. It's not a huge priority at this moment, so I just haven't done it yet. I have an idea for what will go there, but we'll get into that when I get around to doing it. Then in the next location, I wanted to do a remake video for the brushed nickel original, and I figured as long as it was coming down for that, I might as well retire it for a while. As you probably know, I recently got this pewter islander at Habitat. It's in such nice condition that I thought it might be time to take down this islander that's been up for a long time and isn't in as great of condition. So this one will also be coming down at some point, but I'm not sure what I'm going to put there yet, so again, it hasn't been a priority. But as you can see with this one, I did put some new blades on, and I also did a shorter down rod. Unfortunately, I don't have anything in pewter, and I also don't have any spare brushed nickel right now, so antique brass had to do for the time being. There's such a little amount of it showing that it's not really bothersome. room. I do also have the Hunter Norden still sitting here. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with this. I really want to put it up somewhere for a while. I thought about it for replacing the original, and it still might be a possibility, but I'm not really leaning that way. If that's what I was going to do, I probably would have done it already. I just really can't decide. That's why it's still sitting here. So I think for now that takes me through everything I wanted to cover. Like I said at the beginning of this clip, there's a bunch of stuff that I want to get into, which I'll explain as I get to it. But once again, this was just to get you caught up on the small stuff. I'm going to go into editing this video that you're currently watching soon. If there's enough footage, I'm probably going to cut it off here and we'll get into those projects in the next video. So if that's not the case, I will see you back here soon for more. But if it is, thank you all for watching today, and I will see you next time. Click left to watch my last vlog, or click right for the entire shop vlog playlist so that you can start at the beginning.